as always, our thanks to Bluecraft manager Stan Kleinberg for joining us on Clyburn's Corner here tonight. All right, we'll step aside. When we come back, we will take a look at the starting lineups and get you set for first pitch. Game 3 of this 3-game set between the Bridgeport Bluefish and the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. It's coming right up next on the Regency Furniture Blue Crabs pregame show on the Blue Crabs Baseball Network, presented by eTravel. At Capital Area Orthopedics Associates, their mission is to deliver the quality care orthopedic health care to families and individuals. They strive to help every patient understand their trauma, disorder, or disease, as well as providing available options to treat their medical problems. At Capital Area Orthopedic Associates, their primary focus is taking care of the patient. Call 301-392-3330 or visit capitalareaortho.com today. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Guardian Pest Control. First for the 18-21 Bridgeport Bluefish, third place right now in the Liberty Division. Jake Lucci, the left fielder, will lead things off. Batting second is the third baseman, Sean Burrows. Rollington Dotel is the right fielder, and he bats third. Andres Rodriguez, the first baseman, cleans up, batting fourth. John Alonzo is the DH, and he is batting fifth. Jabduan Morales is the catcher. He bats sixth. James Simmons, the center fielder, is batting seventh. Batting eighth is Luis An Rodriguez, and he's playing second base. And batting ninth is the shortstop, Matt Wessinger. And of course, as we told you, on the mound is left-hander Scott Main, 1-3 with a 6.17 ERA. For the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, coming in with a record of 23-17. Fred Lewis, the right fielder, will lead things off. Renny Ozuna, the third baseman, is batting second. The DH, Zach Wilson, is batting third. Cleaning up and batting fourth, Darrell Ward, the first baseman. He was the DH in Game 1 last night. Gustavo Molina is the catcher, and he bats fifth. Jake Opitz, the second baseman, is batting sixth. Jamar Walton, the left fielder, is batting seventh. Casey Frawley is the shortstop. He bats eighth, and Anton DeJesus, the center fielder, is batting ninth. On the mound for the Blue Crabs, right-handed pitcher Jake Hale, 4-2 with a 2.48 ERA. Blue Crabs tonight in their home white jerseys, white pants with navy blue Crabs lettering across the chest, navy blue numbers on the backs, baby blue caps with a navy blue brim, situated in the third base side dugout, and they are managed by Stan Clyburn in his first season at the helm of the Blue Crabs. For the Bluefish, they're in their road grays tonight, gray jerseys, gray pants with ocean blue lettering across the chest and ocean blue numbers on the backs, gray caps, ocean blue brims, situated in the first base side dugout, managed by Ricky Van Asselberg in his first season at the helm of the Bridgeport Bluefish. Our umpires here tonight behind the plate is Nate Caldwell. The crew chief, Kevin Sweeney, is the first base umpire tonight. and the third base umpire is Derek Mosia. Outdoor Creations brings us our Regency Furniture Stadium field dimensions. It's 310 down the left field line, 325 to the corner down the right field line, 375 to the alleyway in left center, 385 to the alleyway in right center, 405 from home plate to the 12-foot high fence covered by a dark green tarp and straightaway center field. The Mini Monster painted in green in left field with a manual scoreboard in the center of that Mini Monster painted in white. The big video board behind the mini grass hill in right center field with beautiful green grass in the outfield. Beautiful green grass, of course, in the infield with that maroon gravel warning track surrounding the outer edge of the ballpark. And a great job, as always, by our grounds crew for getting the infield dirt well manicured and ready for today's ball game. Time for our MetroCast weather forecast here tonight. It's partly cloudy, 78 degrees, winds to the northeast, 2 miles per hour. We'll step aside when we come back. We'll give you the player to bank on, and then we'll have the first pitch for you between the Bridgeport Bluefish and the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. This is the Regency Furniture Blue Crabs pregame show on Blue Crabs Baseball Network, presented by eTrepid. Tonight's player to bank on is brought to you by the Community Bank of the Chesapeake. Outfielder Fred Lewis went 2 for 3 in Game 2 of last night's doubleheader. In addition, the veteran comes into tonight's ball game second in the league in walks with 28. Blue Crabs outfielder Fred Lewis is tonight's player to bank on, brought to you by the Community Bank of the Chesapeake. That does it for the Regency Furniture Blue Crabs pregame show. We'll have the first pitch for you between the Bridgeport Bluefish and the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs in Game 3 of this 3-game set. Coming up next on the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network, powered by eTrepid. Please remain standing and don't color that much of you. Fans, please turn your attention to the top of Section 19, where we reserve the seat for the entire 2015 season to honor all of Maryland's Brewster Award and missing and acting servicemen. This seat was made possible by Chick-fil-A, Charles County, and the communities of St. Charles. We ask at this time that you recognize these great servicemen and join us in all of the songs. Please remain standing and welcome Air Force Senior Master Sergeant Carson as the honors of the singing of America the Beautiful. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, forever waves of rain, for the mountains and the sea.
Once again, thanks for the presentation of tonight's colors by the Father and White Slaves, color court of the Knights of the Columbus. Our anthem is sung by the Maryland Translators of the Southern Maryland Maryland. And the Maryland Beautiful from Air Force Senior Master Sergeant Carson, our first Colonial South Cross Nation Nation.
Well, just a phenomenal performance, and if that doesn't get you ready for baseball, I don't know what will. That was just absolutely phenomenal all the way around. Blue Crabs and the Bluefish ready to do battle here tonight, Game 3 of a 3-game set. The Bluefish looking for the sweep, and the Blue Crabs looking to salvage the series after losing the doubleheader yesterday. Both 7-inning ball games. Blue Crabs losing Game 1 3-1, and then losing Game 2 by the final of 2-1. Last night they had just 10 hits between the two games. They had overall 4 hits in Game number 1 and 6 hits in Game number 2. Their offense will look to rebound. Jake Hale is taking his warm-up tosses. Let's give you the Southern Maryland starting defense. Jamar Walton is in left. Anton DeJesus is in center field. Fred Lewis is in right. Rennie Ozuna is the third baseman. Casey Frawley is back in there tonight after having some problems with his eyes. He had to leave Game 1 after having some issues with his vision last night. We'll explain that sometime during the ball game here tonight, but he's back at short. Jake Opitz is the second baseman. Darrell Ward is getting the start tonight at first base after DHing in Game 1 yesterday. Behind the plate is Gustavo Molina, and on the mound is the right-hander Jake Hale. 4-2 with a 2.48 ERA is Hale. This is 8th start. 50 2/3 innings pitched, 34 hits, 14 runs, 14 of those runs earned, 13 walks, and 33 strikeouts. Our first pitch tonight is presented by Pyrotechnico. Pyrotechnico bringing us our first pitch here tonight. Pyrotechnico lighting up the batter's box, one pitch at a time. It'll be Lucci, Burrows, and Dotel. Jake Lucci, the left fielder, hitting at .273. He is homerless and has not driven in any runs to speak of here in 2015. Hale on the first base edge, ready to work. He turns, kicks, and fires. A fastball outside, and we are underway. Glad you're with us tonight on a pretty nice evening here in Waldorf, Maryland. Mix of sun and clouds. It drizzled earlier in the day, but it stopped after about 5 minutes. Here's a 1-0. Swung on, grounded sharply back up the middle and into center field, and that's a base hit. Jake Lucci with a leadoff single. And here is Sean Burrows, who had an RBI in Game 2 of the doubleheader yesterday. It stopped raining earlier this afternoon after about 5 minutes, right around 1:45 or so. And it hasn't rained since. The tarp was out after batting practice just in case, because there were some threatening clouds to the south side of the ballpark, but the weather has cleared. The radar seems to be clean, and we've got baseball here tonight at Regency Furniture Stadium with hopefully no weather interruptions. Here's a lob toss over to first, and Lucci back in safely standing. Jake 2 for 2 this season in stolen bases. Burrows, meanwhile, second in the league with a .341 batting average coming in. 1 home run, 18 RBIs. Left-handed hitter. Hale set. The kick and the pitch. Outside for ball 1. And Jake a little bit frustrated with himself after dealing that fastball off the plate. It's 1-0. No score here, infant stages of this top of the first. Lights begin to come on here at the ballpark. This Game 3 of the 3-game set. A 1-0. Swung on, popped him up right around the home plate area in foul ground. Throws off the mask. Gone to the grass, makes the catch. And Burrows is retired for out number 1. That'll send Wellington Dotel to the plate. Dotel, the right fielder, hitting at .322 on the season with 2 home runs and 19 RBIs. These two teams are meeting for the first time in a series here this season, and this is the first time this weekend that I've seen Wellington Dotel, and here's a guy who every time he gets up there, he doesn't get cheated. He swings as hard as he can. He's got good size, 6'1", 180 pounds, but he doesn't get cheated. The pitch he takes here, and a called strike over the outside corner. 29 years of age, from the Dominican Republic. He spent 5 seasons in the Mariners organization, making it to high A. There's a big open stance on the right side. Bat wiggles out in front of his chest. Hail set, now an 0-1. Inside at the belt, 1 ball and 1 strike. No score here in the top of the first. The Bluefish and the Blue Crabs. You'll tell the right fielder, the number 3 hitter, hitting now with Andres Rodriguez, the first baseman, on deck. Lucci takes his lead off first. He singled. Opitz pinched towards second slightly in the pitch. Swung on, hit in the air to right. Pretty well. Lewis going back on it. Squares up to the plate, backpedaling, and makes a one-hand catch on the outer rim of the warning track. Lucci tagging from first. On his way to second, he gets there safely standing as the relay throw is cut off by Opitz in shallow right. Good base running by Jake Lucci, tagging up there all the way from first base as Lewis had no momentum when he caught that baseball on the outer rim of the warning track. Lucci in scoring position for Andres Rodriguez. Bluefish looking to strike first here early in this ball game. Rodriguez, right-handed stick, the first baseman, 169, 1 home run, 9 RBIs. Outfielders play straight away, wind blowing here at the ballpark. About 5 miles per hour to the northeast. And the first offering is swung on and popped up on the infield right side. Crossing into foul ground is Ward, the first baseman, and he makes a 2-hand catch for out number 3. No runs a hit and 1 man left. At the end of a half of an inning, we are scoreless. The Blue Crabs coming to bat. This is the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network, powered by E-Track.
Thanks to the folks of the Southern Maryland Real Estate Athlete, one lucky fan could win a $300,000 house tonight, $40,000.
Bottom half of the first inning, we're scoreless here at Regency Furniture Stadium. Here's the Bridgeport starting defense. Jake Lucci is in left. James Simmons is in center. Wellington Dotel is in right. Sean Burrows is the third baseman. Matt Wessinger is the shortstop. Luisan Rodriguez is the second baseman. Andres Rodriguez is the first baseman. Jabduan Morales is behind the plate. And on the mound, left-handed pitcher Scott Main, 1-3 with a 6.17 ERA. This is 8th start, 35 innings, 38 strikeouts, 20 walks, 48 hits, 26 runs. 24 of those runs have been earned, and opponents are hitting .320. It'll be Lewis, Ozuna, and Wilson. Fred, the right fielder, he bats from the left side, .230 average with 5 RBIs. Blue Crabs last night with 4 hits in Game 1, 6 hits in Game 2. Main from the stretch, the pitch. Taken high for ball 1. The sun has peeked out of the clouds here at the ballpark, the home plate area, and half the mound is covered in shadows. The rest of the infield is covered in sunlight. 1-0. And there's a called strike hitting the inside corner. The outfielders all in sunlight. Shadow from the light post down the right field side, slashing across the outfield grass. 1-1. Lewis squares, pulls back, and takes low. And it's 1 strike. Fred comes into the ball game. Second in the league with 28 walks. We talked about it last night. And he's a guy who has actually told Stan Clyburn that he is more comfortable batting up at the top of the order. Here's a 2-1. Inside, Lewis backs off the plate. Cracks a little smile, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. And while Fred may not be that prototypical type leadoff hitter, the numbers say otherwise. There's 28 walks, second in the league. He's a guy who gets on base. Here's a 3-1. Outside, ball 4. And there you go, just as I was talking about. Lewis walking for the 29th time here this season. Leadoff base runner, here is Rennie Ozuna, the third baseman. Rennie at 246, 2 home runs, 15 RBIs. Scott Main, 6'3", 225 pounds. He's from Jupiter, Florida, 30 years of age. A guy who is getting a start here tonight, works from the stretch. Here's the set position. The first offering. Ozuna takes all the way, looks it into the mitt, and a called strike on the inside corner. Bridgeport starting 3 lefties here in this series against the Blue Crabs. Southern Maryland with 5 left-handed hitters in their order tonight. Lewis the leadoff first. The 0-1. Swung on, lined sharply into center field. That's down for a base hit. Simmons fields it cleanly. Lewis stops at second base. 2 on, nobody out for the Blue Crabs. They scored first in Game 2 last night, and they've got a rally going here in the bottom of the first, as the batter will be Zach Wilson. A walk, a hit, and Wilson, the DH, will get an opportunity. Zach hitting at 240 on the season with 2 home runs, 10 RBIs. Scoreless here in the bottom of the first. Blue Crabs, a team coming in, middle of the pack, hitting at 251. Wilson with that slightly open stance on the right side. From the belt, Main checks the runner at second. The pitch. And a change up a little bit low for ball 1. Scott was drafted 3 times. First in high school and then twice out of the University of Miami. He was drafted in the 15th round by the Mariners in 03 out of William T. Dwyer High School in West Palm Beach, Florida. Then he was drafted by the Rockies in 06 in the 23rd round out of the University of Miami, and then Diamondbacks in the 6th round in 07. He eventually signed with Arizona. Here's a 1-0. Swung on, foul tip off the mask of Morales, ricocheting to the screen behind the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike is the count. Lewis the runner at second base. Ozuna the runner at first base. Good speed on base paths. Rodriguez, the first baseman, plays well off the line. Outfielders shade slightly from the set position. Main checks the runner at second twice. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. And Wilson cutting through that fastball. Coming up empty. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Great crowd on hand here tonight. As always, great weekend crowd here at Regency Furniture Stadium. Ball and 2 strikes. Main checks the runner. He kicks and fires. Runner's break. Here's a swing and a line drive down the right field line. It's slicing towards the corner. Just foul outside the chalk. And if that touched down in fair territory, that's trouble. 2 runs probably score, and Wilson probably has 2 RBIs. But as it is, it's a 1 ball and 2 strike count here to Zach Wilson with Darrell Ward waiting on deck. No score here in the bottom of the first. Lewis the leadoff second. Ozuna the leadoff first. From the belt, Main checks the runner. Once, now twice, the 1-2. Swing and a ball punched foul off to the right and out of play. Blue Crabs coming into the game 23-17. That's good for first place in the Freedom Division. Now, after losing 2 games yesterday, they actually dropped out of the number 2 spot overall in the entire league standings. They actually sit behind the Long Island Ducks, who come into the night at 24-16. So they're in second place, while the Blue Crabs are in third, and the Patriots lead the way at 28-12 in first place. 1-2 offering. cut on, foul tip right at the plate. And in the Liberty division on the other side, as we mentioned, the Patriots 28-12, 700 winning percentage. They've had a phenomenal season, and it's been really because of their pitching. Their pitching has just been phenomenal. I mean, their ERA, if I'm not mistaken, is maybe a tick or two over 2 coming into the night. But the Patriots in first place, and then the Ducks, and then you have the Bluefish in third place at 18-21, and the River Sharks round out those standings at 17-24. Right now, the Liberty division is better than the Freedom division. Here's a 1-2. Swing and a pop foul off first, twisting out of play. Blue Crabs, though, really are only worried about, and of course they would like to climb in the overall standings, but they're really worried about the Freedom division because, again, if you win the Freedom division in the first half of the season, you automatically make the playoffs. That's your goal. In the second half of the season, another team, say the Skeeters or the Barnstormers or the Revolution in that division, will want to win that. 1-2. Just missed off the outside corner of the change, because if they win, they're going to the playoffs as well, and they will face the Blue Crabs. And it's the same thing on the other side in the Liberty division, which right now it looks like the Patriots, barring a miracle, and I don't even think it's mathematically possible, they're going to win the first half. 2-2 the count to Wilson, no score. Bottom first, runners at first and second for the Blue Crabs. Lefty Main kicks and deals. Swung on, ground in the hole, left side, base hit through in the left field. Lewis held up at third base. Everybody moves up the bag as Lucci's throw comes in to Burrows on the left side. 2 hits in the inning for the Blue Crabs, and they're loaded. A walk, 2 hits. Here's Darrell Ward, the veteran. Scott Main here is in a jam in the early going. A left-hander from Jupiter, Florida, 30 years of age. In his last appearance back on May 30th at Lancaster, he took the loss, went just 4 innings, allowing 7 runs on 7 hits. Here's a guy who has not pitched more than 5 innings here this season. Darrell Ward, a left-handed hitter, .252 average with a home run and 5 RBIs. Ward 0 for 2, with the bases loaded this year. Here's the first offering. Darrell takes inside. Ward was the DH for Game 1 last night, did not play Game 2 of that doubleheader. Burrows even with the bag, to the right of the cutout at third. Outfielders play straight away in the sunlight. Main from the stretch, set at the belt, and the pitch. Taken down low. 2 balls and no strikes. Nowhere to put Darrell Ward. The bases loaded. Lewis is at third. He walked. Ozuna singled. He's at second. Wilson singled to left, and he's at first. Main brings the hands together from the belt. The 2-0. Taken low. Now 3 balls and no strikes. With Kyle Hankard leaving for Mexico a few days ago, you wonder who's going to fill that number 4 spot in the order. That was left by Kyle Hankard, a guy who had so much success this year. He led the league in batting average at .354. Led the league in homers as well, 3-0. And Ward takes a called strike right down the heart of the plate. Led the league in total bases with 75, on base percentage .456, slugging with .664. In other words, he had a great year here in the Atlantic League as the number 4 hitter for the Blue Crabs. But who will fill that spot? Will it be Ward or Molina or maybe another guy? I'm not sure. Here's a 3-1. Down the way, it skips to the backstop past Morales. It's ball 4. Lewis will score in third. Ozuna takes a turn around third. He will stop and go back to the bag. It's an RBI walk for Darrell Ward. Second walk issued here by Scott Main in the bottom of the first, and the Blue Crabs with a 1-0 lead. And Main is just struggling now to throw strikes. He's given up 2 hits. He's allowed 2 walks. And here is Gustavo Molina. But again, with Kyle Hankard leaving, you wonder now what the complexion is going to be like within the next couple of weeks in the middle of this Blue Crabs order. Molina, right-handed hitter, the first offering. Taken down low for ball 1. Molina, the catcher, 314 average, 8 home runs, 24 RBIs. The 1-0. Swung on, line to left field. That's down for a base hit. Ozuna scores from third. Wilson being waved around third. Lucci's throw to the plate is cut off on the left side. 2-run score, and it's 3-0 Blue Crabs. Gustavo Molina with RBIs number 25 and 26 on the year. And the Blue Crabs with 3 runs on 3 hits. They strike first here in the bottom of the first, leading it 3-0. They struck first in game number 2 last night, but ended up losing 2-1. Here they're up 3-0, and here comes Ricky Van Asselberg. And he's going to talk things over here with Scott Main, who is struggling mightily here in the bottom of the first. Jake Opitz will be the hitter. Opitz, the second baseman, hitting 9 points under the Mendoza line. He has 2 home runs and 4 RBIs here this season. Blue Crabs with runners at first and second. Ward, the lead runner. Molina, the trail runner. Not really good speed on the base paths. The 2 veteran guys who are good base runners. Meeting at the mound over. And Jake Opitz, number 6 hitter. Second baseman, digs in left side. Straightaway stance. Main working off the middle of the rubber. Outfielders play deep all the way around. Main comes set at the belt. Here's the pitch. Swung on, pop foul, straight back over the screen and out of play. Opitz 3 for his last 25 since returning from injury. Returned to the lineup after missing 18 games with an oblique injury. Back on May 29th. Here's the set, the 0-1. Inside with an off-speed pitch. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. 3-0, Blue Crabs have the lead. 3 runs on 3 hits. Scott Main has also walked 2 guys. Fred Lewis led off this rally with a leadoff walk. Ozuna singled, Wilson singled, Ward walked. To score Lewis, here's the 1-1. Swung on, dribbled, right side, charging from second Rodriguez in the baseline. Fields sidearms up quickly on to first, and Opitz is out number 1. Runners move up to second and third, virtually a swinging bunt on the 4-3 putouts. And that'll send Jamar Walton to the plate with the base open. Walton, the left fielder, 260. A homer, 6 RBI. He bats left. Casey Frawley is the guy on deck. I'm just spitballing here, though. With the base open, you could possibly intentionally walk or maybe not give Walton anything to hit and then have to deal with Frawley. That's always dangerous when you do something like that. Here's the first offer. And Walton looks it into the mitt, inside off the corner for ball 1. Jamar went 0 for 6 in both games combined yesterday. Main from the belt. Second and third, the pitch. Swung on, hit in the air to left. Lucci back on it. Settles under, in front of the track, makes a one-hand catch. Ward will tag from third. He will score without a throw. And it's an RBI sacrifice fly for Jamar Walton, and the Blue Crabs with a 4-0 lead. Two outs here is Casey Frawley. Molina staying at second base, still in scoring position. Frawley, the 8th place hitter, the shortstop, 224 average with 1 home run and 11 RBIs. He left yesterday's ball game with an apparent eye injury. He had trouble seeing. Main comes set at the belt. Here's the pitch. Taken for a called strike. I saw him down at the cage right around 1:30 today when he was hitting and working off the tee, and I asked him what happened. He said, I had some problems seeing, and he explained to me that when he was in affiliated baseball, he had some trouble with his sinuses. The pitch cut on, foul tip into the mid of Morales. He said that sometimes when the temperature would change, his eyesight, it would become blurry. He would have trouble seeing. He went to a lot of doctors in the off seasons, and they couldn't explain what was wrong. So he finally went to a doctor in New York, and he diagnosed him with some sort of eye injury that caused him problems sometimes of him seeing. Here's a ball fisted foul back to the backstop. And so when the temperature changes, for example, when it was very hot in Sugar Land when the Blue Crabs were on their last road trip, he started to have trouble seeing at that time. But then, when he got back here to Southern Maryland, the temperature at times was high 50s, low 60s last night. The eyesight started to become blurry again. Here's an 0-2. There's a called third strike right over the inner third. And Frawley down on strikes. The Blue Crabs leave a runner in scoring position. But 4 runs for the Blue Crabs on 3 hits, 2 walks, a sacrifice fly, and at the end of 1 inning of play, Southern Maryland off to a good start. 4-0 Blue Crabs. You're listening to the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network presented by Intrepid. Top of the second inning here at Regency Furniture Stadium. Blue Crabs 4 runs on 3 hits in the bottom of the first, and they lead it 4-0. Jake Hale, his second inning of work. Bridgeport sent 4 batters to the plate in the top of the first. It'll be 5-6-7, Alonzo Morales Simmons. John Alonzo, DH, hitting a .252 with 4 home runs and 20 RBIs. Game 3 of this 3-game set. Bluefish looking for the sweep. Blue Crabs looking to salvage the series after losing both games in the doubleheader yesterday. Righty-on-righty matchup. Hale towing the first base edge. Rocks, kicks, and fire. Taken high for ball 1. It's the third of 24 meetings between the two clubs here in 2015. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Taken for a called strike across the knees. Game 4 was originally scheduled to be played tonight, but after 2 rainouts on Wednesday and Thursday, the series was cut short, 1-1. Swung on, tapped foul to the backstop. Game 4 of that series will be made up in Bridgeport at a later date, probably when these two teams meet at the end of June into early July. 29th to 30th, and then July 1st and July 2nd. 1-2 offering. Swung on, bounced to short for all he charges. Scoops it on the glove side, throws to first off 1 foot, and it's in time. 6-3 on the putout. And that'll send Jabduan Morales to the plate. Morales, switch hitter, bat left. It's the catcher, .261. He has 1 run driven in here this season. The Crabs with a 4-0 lead here in the top of the second inning. Pockets of the infield dirt, most notably the back of third and most of short in sunlight. Here's the pitch. Taken for a called strike. Morales, meanwhile, 5'10", 210-pounder, 23 years of age, from Dorado, Puerto Rico. Former 9th-round draft pick by the Marlins in 2009. his first season here in the Atlantic League. The turn, the kick, and the pitch. Taken low, a fastball that time, 1 ball and 1 strike. Morales is a guy who was involved in that Justin Ruggiano deal. He was traded to the Astros, the 1-1. Swung on, bounced right side out of the range of hail. Charging from second, Opitz. Fields in the baseline and sidearms on to first. And Morales out number 2. Bases empty with 2 down. A 4-0 Southern Maryland lead. Here is James Simmons, the center fielder. Simmons hitting at .252 with 15 RBIs. Very athletic, speedy center fielder. 6'3", 220 pounds, 29 years of age. Here's the windup and the first offer. Taken low. Hale looking for his first 1-2-3 inning here tonight. His team up 4-0. Simmons stands in the way of that. Got a straightaway stance on the right side. Here's a 1-0. Low and outside. James from Vernon College, a former 24th round draft pick in 2005 by the San Francisco Giants. He spent 6 seasons in the Giants organization. He's got the black shin guard on the left shin. Hale into the line. Here comes a 2-0. Taken outside. Jake wanted it. Didn't get it with Nate Caldwell, the home plate umpire. It's 3-0. Jake is a guy who has told me on numerous occasions that he hates walking hitters. He doesn't mind giving up hits. Doesn't like to do it. Doesn't mind them. But he hates walking guys. 3-0. Simmons takes all the way. A called strike right down the middle. Well, Jake will try to come back here in this count. Turns, kicks. Here comes a 3-1. Swung on, popped him up foul off first. Ward, Molina into foul ground. Darrell next to the railing on the dugout. Makes a one-hand backhand catch. Nice play by Darrell Ward as he slightly had the lead over the railing to make the grab. Bluefish set down in order for the first time here tonight. We at the bottom of the second inning. Southern Maryland 4, Bridgeport 0. You're listening to the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network, powered by E-Trek. Bottom of the frame here in the second inning. Southern Maryland sending 8 batters to the plate in the bottom of the first, scoring 4 runs on 3 hits. They lead it 4-0. It'll be 9-1 Jesus Lewis and then Rennie Ozuna. DeJesus hitting at 193 with a home run and 9 RBIs. We have a little bit of a delay here, it appears, because what do we have going on here? Looks like we have a defensive replacement. appears that Sean Burrows. See, somebody's wearing number 12 here, and I don't see number 12 on their roster. Oh, okay. Excuse me. It's Ryan Babineau. Okay. Ryan Babineau is now playing third base. Burrows is out of the ball game. Not sure the status on him, but anyway, here's DeJesus in the first offering. Antone takes high. Babineau will bat in the number 2 spot, Burrows' spot. Again, I'm not sure why Sean has left the game. Hopefully everything checks out okay. There's the pitch. Outside. Swinging a foul back to the screen. Jesus went 1 for 2 in both games yesterday. And he's a guy who has started to succeed down at the bottom of the order in that number 9 spot. That in that leadoff spot in the beginning of the year for the first month and a half of the season. There's a 2-1 up high. But Stan Clyburn saying that he didn't really want to rock the boat, especially because the Blue Crabs went on that 8-game winning streak. But once the Blue Crabs lost a couple of games, DeJesus dropped down the order, and this is his 4th game in that number 9 spot. 3-1. In tight, he spins out of the way, ball 4. And that's the 3rd walk issued by Scott Main here tonight. Scott walking 2 batters back in the bottom of the 1st inning. He also allowed 3 hits, a sacrifice fly, and struck out 1. Back to the top of the order, and here is Fred Lewis, who got the rally started back in the bottom of the 1st. He walked and scored a run. Main in the middle of the rubber, set at the belt. Here's the pitch. Lewis squares, drops down the bunt, left side. Babineau in from 3rd. He gloves, sets, throws to 1st. And it's in time to get Lewis by about a step and a half. Up to second base goes DeJesus. And now here is Rennie Ozuna. Sack bunt successful by Lewis. Ozuna with a single and a run scored his first time up. Okay, so I figured out the defense. Luis Rodriguez is out of the game. And Burrows moves over from 3rd to 2nd. We'll reset the defense in just a second. A couple of quick changes here for the Bluefish in the bottom of the 2nd. We'll do it now quickly. Lucci in left, Simmons in center, Dotel in right. Babineau at 3rd, Wessinger still at short, Burrows at 2nd, Rodriguez, Andres still at 1st, and Morales still behind the plate. Main comes set at the belt, 1 out, 4-0 Blue Crabs pitch. Taken low. Ozuna right-handed here. Outfielders play straight away. Babineau plays close to the line and close to the bag at 3rd base. Now he backs up a little bit. Zach Wilson waits to hit next. The set position. The 1-0 on the way. Swinging a foul off to the right and out of play. Main pitched for the Bluefish last year before he was signed by the Reds and was sent to Double-A Pensacola. Here in his 2nd season with the Bluefish. He pitched for the Cubs at the Major League level for 3 seasons and 1 season with the Indians in 2012. That was his last year at baseball's highest level. The 1-1. Taken outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, tonight he's struggling a little bit to throw strikes. And is throwing 22 strikes, 18 balls. The set position. The pitch on the way. Taken for a called strike. That was pitch number 41 here tonight. Ozuna taking it at the knees. 2 balls, 2 strikes is the count. Zach Wilson on deck, 4-0 Blue Crabs looking for more. DeJesus Leading off the inning with a walk, he takes his lead off second. There's the set position. The 2-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. And down goes Ozuna. Second strikeout tonight for Scott Main. And with 2 outs, here is Zach Wilson. Wilson with a single and a run scored his first time. Lefty on righty matchup. Wind has died down here at the ballpark. Cotton candy sky up above. Entire playing field covered in shadows, the first offering. And Wilson takes inside at the belt. These two teams will meet again on the 29th of June for a 4-game set. June 29th, June 30th, July 1st, July 2nd. In Bridgeport. Here's a 1-0. Cut on and missed. Third of 24 meetings here tonight. Blue Crabs since 2011 have held the upper hand in the series at 44-37. 2 outs. It'll be a 1-1. Main from the stretch. Lifts the leg and fires. A fastball just missing off the outside corner as Morales did his best to frame it, and Nate Caldwell would not give him the call. 2 balls and 1 strike. Darrell Ward is waiting on deck. From the set position, the 2-1. Swing and a ground ball to short. Wessinger up with it. Shuffles the feet. Throws to first. It's in time to get Wilson by 2 steps. And the 6-3 putout. Blue Crabs strand a runner in scoring position. At the end of 2 innings of play, Southern Maryland 4 and Bridgeport nothing. You're listening to the intrepid Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network. Going to be looked at by the trainer. He has some sort of injury. So now Babineau will be the hitter, followed by Wessinger, and then back to the top of the order, and Lucci. Babineau bats from the right side, hitting at .246 on the season with 8 RBIs. And the right-hander Jake Hale on the first base edge of that rubber kicks and fires. Fastball a little bit low for ball 1. 8th start for Hale here this season. 6'7", 205-pounder, 29 years of age. A guy who wants to get into coaching once his career is over. 1-0. Outside with the fastball now 2-0. Hale would make a great coach. He has professional baseball pitching experience. He's been drafted 3 times. He was first drafted by the Indians in the 24th round of the 05 draft out of Alexander High School. 2-0. Swung on, popped him up foul behind the plate. Molina takes off the mask and watches it land over the screen and out of play. Hale, after being drafted in 05, was then drafted by the Blue Jays in the 20th round of the 07 draft, and then again in the 27th round by the Arizona Diamondbacks in the 09 draft out of Ohio State University. The pitch. Swing and a soft liner into center. That touches down in front of DeJesus for a base hit. Antone fielding it cleanly. And Babineau is a leadoff base runner, second hit of the game for the Bluefish. Here's Matt Wessinger. Wessinger, the shortstop, is 0 for 6 on the season with 1 RBI. Remember, he was just signed on Wednesday, and that night he was in the starting lineup. Wednesday night's game was rained out, though. Here's the first offering, a swing and a cue shot grounder foul to the backstop. And then Thursday night's game, of course, was also rained out. So last night in Game 1 was the first start in a Bridgeport uniform this season for Matt. Batting in that number 9 spot, playing shortstop. 4-0 Blue Crabs, top third. Lead by Babineau at first. The pitch. Swung on, lined right side, base hit into right field. Out of the range of Ward. As Lewis fields it cleanly, stopping at second is Babineau. Back-to-back hits. With the tying run on deck, the leadoff hitter, Jake Lucci, will come to the plate. Lucci 1 for 1 with a single back in the first inning. 25-year-old, 5'10", 185-pounder. Here's a guy who was undrafted out of Elon University. So he ended up signing with Amarillo of the American Association in 2012, and he has admitted before that he was overmatched in the American Association. He struggled, and he went on to play in the Frontier League next. Here's the set position by Hale. First offering. Outside for ball 1, but unfortunately the story isn't all that pretty because in 2013 he had to put baseball on hold because his father got a brain tumor. His father underwent successful surgery, a very lengthy recovery, but he did recover. And you know what? He decided to give baseball one more shot, 1-0. And there's a called strike at the knees. So in the 2014 Texas Winter League, he impressed a lot of people, and he got an opportunity to play with Brownsville in the United League. He was then traded back to the American Association, and with more experience, he had a lot of success. Teams took notice of that success. Here's a 1-1. And there's a called strike over the outside corner, and he ended up signing with the Orioles this past January. The Orioles were so impressed, they actually had to outbid a couple of teams like the Mariners and the Red Sox for Lucci's service. He signed with the Orioles, got that invite to spring training, and was unfortunately cut by the Orioles and landed here in the Atlantic League. Pitch. Taken high. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. But here's a guy who, with his talent, could certainly make it back into affiliated baseball. He's getting great experience here in arguably the best independent league of professional baseball throughout the entire country. The 2-2. Cut on, foul tip in and out of the mitt of Molina behind the plate, and Lucci stays alive at 2-2. Two on, nobody out. 2-2 is the count. 4-0 Blue Crabs. We're in the top of the third. Lights are on here at Regency Furniture Stadium. Fireworks expected after the 7th inning tonight. The 2-2. Cut on, fouled straight back, just wide of the screen towards the third base side, and out of play. And I think it hit an empty seat. I can hear that sound of the baseball hitting that plastic seat. The fans kind of scattered about there. That one came whistling off the bat. On deck is Sean Burrows. Raleigh, the shortstop, pinched towards second slightly. The pitch. Up high. And now the count runs full to 3 balls and 2 strikes, and Jake a little bit upset with himself, leaving that last changeup up and out of the zone. Babineau is at second base. He's singled. Wessinger singled to right field. He's at first base. The outfielders play straight away. Hit to the outfield should be able to score Babineau from second. Ward plays behind the runner at first. Opens his normal position at second. Same with Ozuna at third. Time called by Lucci at the plate. Left-handed hitter stepping out. Adjusts his white batting gloves. Wipes his right hand on his right pant leg. Takes back in. Straightaway stance on the left side. Straightens his back a little bit. Hale comes set at the letters. Now the 3-2. Cut on. Foul tip. Beaten into the ground. And off the front right foot of Lucci, who hops around the home plate area. Lucci still walking around the home plate area on the grass here. I think that got the top of his foot because he has a black shin guard on his right shin. And I don't think it hit the shin guard. And you see some guys with the shin guard covering the top of their foot. Well, the shin guard he's wearing only covers the shin and not the foot. So I think it hit the top of his foot. And I say that also because he actually touched the top of his foot and tried to shake out the cobwebs, if you will. Here's the set, the 3-2. Swung on, popped him up a mile high into straightaway shallow center. Crowley, the shortstop, going back onto the grass, he calls and makes a one-hand catch directly behind the second base bag. About 7 feet or so on the outfield grass. I didn't see an infield fly rule in effect from Kevin Sweeney, the first base umpire. Either way, it's an out. And Sean Burrows will be the hitter. First and second. 1 out, 4-0 Blue Crabs. Burrows fouled out to the catcher Molina his first time. Hale comes set. The kick and the pitch. Taken outside for ball 1. Burrows with an RBI last night. Sean, 34 years of age. Comes a 1-0. Taken for a called strike over the outside corner. 6'1", 195-pounder. Padres' first-round draft pick. All the way back in 1998. Drafted out of Woodrow Wilson High School. The 1-1. Swung on, lifted foul out of play left side. Nice catch by a fan. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Burrows, when he was 12 years old, he threw 2 no-hitters for Long Beach in the Little League World Series. That earned him a chance to appear on David Letterman, and he told Dave he wanted to be a gynecologist. Baseball really wasn't on his mind. He had quite talent. Here's a swing and a line drive back to Hale, who snags it, lobs over to first to double up the runner Wessinger for out number 3. A fine play by Jake Hale to end the threat by the Bluefish. At the end of 2.5, it's Southern Maryland 4 and Bridgeport nothing on the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network, presented by eTrepid. Home half of the third inning here at Regency Furniture Stadium, Southern Maryland, with a 4-0 lead over Bridgeport. Game 3 of this 3-game set. Bridgeport winning the doubleheader yesterday, looking to sweep the series, while the Blue Crabs looking to salvage the series and take a game from the Bluefish. They're also looking to win their 24th game of the year. Darrell Ward will lead things off. It'll be Ward, Molina, and Opitz. Lefty-on-lefty matchup. Scott Main, his third inning of work. He's allowed 4 runs on 3 hits. He's walked 3 and struck out 2. Ward with a walk his first time with bases loaded, earning an RBI. Here's a swing and a line drive in left center field. Simmons going back on it to his right. And the center fielder makes a one-hand catch and stride 5 feet from the track. Ward stung that one hard. Simmons was able to track it down. That'll send Gustavo Molina to the plate. Well, Maine has had success on that pitching mound and in the game of baseball virtually his entire life. That doesn't mean he hasn't had any obstacles to deal with in his life. You know, first while he was in high school, he had Tommy John surgery. Molina calling time, right-handed hitter. He got successful Tommy John surgery, came back to the mound, and was pitching very well in high school. I mean, very well is kind of an understatement. He had 119 strikeouts as a senior in high school. Here's the pitch. Up and away. That includes a 0.10 ERA. Now, another obstacle struck in the summer of '05. Terrible accident on a Florida turnpike. Here's a 1-0. Swinging a foul, backing out of play towards the first base side. Well, that accident caused him to have some broken pieces of his face. Doctors had to piece his skull back together. But he was very resilient. The doctors did their work, did a phenomenal job. Here's a 1-1. Swinging a high fly ball, left field medium depth. Lucci over to his right, circles in on it. And Jake makes a one-hand catch. Molina retired for out number 2. And it was like a jigsaw puzzle, trying to put his forehead back together. But once they did that, and he came out of his induced coma and went through the rehab process and began throwing again. And here's the great part of his story. He was released from the hospital 23 days after the accident, and he's back working out and throwing again. Scott, 30 years of age, from Jupiter, Florida. 2 outs, bases empty. He's looking for his first 1-2-3 inning here tonight. Blue Crabs lead 4-0, bottom third. Jake Opitz the hitter. Lefty on lefty in the pitch. Jake takes low and outside. Cedar Point Federal Credit Union has been around since August of 1945, offering commitments to service, education, member involvement, equal opportunity, community, and the credit union movement. To learn more, visit www.cpfcu.com. Cedar Point Federal Credit Union, the one place to go. Opitz takes the next offering high, and now it's 2-0. Jake grounding out to second base. His first time up. The pitch. Opitz takes a called strike over the inside corner. On deck is Jamar Walton if Jake were to reach. 2 outs, 4-0 Blue Crabs, home half of the third. Great night for baseball weather-wise here in Waldorf, Maryland. There's a swing and a bouncing ball to first. 2 hops. Rodriguez collects it, flips underhand to Maine, covering the bag, steps on it just in time ahead of Opitz, who was out by half a step, maybe less. Good hustle by Jake. 3-1 on the putout. And the Blue Crabs, for the first time, sat down in order here tonight. At the end of 3 innings of play, it's Southern Maryland 4 and Bridgeport nothing on the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network, presented by Intrepid. I can't hear you, buddy. Come here. What's up, buddy?
Like, are you live?
Not right now. No, we're on the radio. Crabs with a 4-0 lead, 4 runs, 3 hits, all 4 runs coming back in the top of the first. We head to the top of the 4th inning. Jake Hale ready to begin his 4th inning of work. Jake here tonight, 3 innings pitched. He's allowed 3 hits, not have any strikeouts or any walks. His counterpart, Scott Maine, 3 innings of work, 4 runs, 3 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Bluefish look to climb back into this ball game here. They do have 3 hits. Down 4-0 though. It'll be 3-4-5. Dotel, Rodriguez, Alonso. The right number of guys in the batting order to get this rally started. Dotel, right-handed hitter. Flew out to right his first time. Here's the first pitch. Taken for a called strike right down the heart of the plate. Hale 3-0 in his career against Bridgeport, with a 2.79 ERA. This is 10th game against the Bluefish. The windup in the 0-1. Swing and a miss. That's nothing in 2. I mentioned before that Hale hates walking guys. Well, against Bridgeport in his career, 29 strikeouts and just 5 walks. This year, 33 strikeouts and just 13 walks. Hale is not a guy who shows his cards out there. In other words, he's not a guy who shows many emotions. But when he does walk a guy, you can see it in his body language. He's very upset with himself. Here's an 0-2. Down low and outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Guy in his 6th professional season. He spent 2 seasons in the Arizona Diamondbacks organization, making it as high as the high A level. A 1-2. Swing and a miss. First strikeout of the night for Jake. Down goes Dotel. Here's Andres Rodriguez. Rodriguez, right-handed hitter. He fouled out to the first baseman Ward his first time. Righty on righty matchup. The turn, the kick, and the pitch. Slider spins in, a called strike over the outside corner. Rodriguez, 6'3", 260-pounder from San Cristobal, Dominican Republic, 36 years of age. Here's an 0-1 swing and a looper out towards right. Lewis sprinting in, slows down, and it touches down onto the grass for a base hit. Fred handles it cleanly, and Rodriguez with the 4th hit of the ball game for Bridgeport. Here's John Alonso, the DH. Blue Crabs a 4-0 lead, top of the 4th. Sun is setting off the first base side behind the ballpark. Pockets of sunlight in the outfield, in right center field, and in left center field as well. Here's the pitch. Inside at the knees. Alonso, 6 foot, 220-pounder, 29 years of age, former 12th round draft pick by the Rockies in 05, out of Polk County Community College, 1-0. The slider in there for a called strike over the outside corner. It is now Polk County College. He attended Bishop Moore High School in Orlando, Florida, the same high school as Drew Patera and Mike McClendon, both guys at the major league level, getting an opportunity in their careers. Here's a 1-1 slider low, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Alonso's been playing independent ball since 2008. He's played in the Frontier League, the American Association, and now here in the Atlantic League. Well set at the chest, the 2-1. Swung on, bounced foul to the backstop, 2-2. On deck is Jabduan Morales. set position, a 2-2. Swung on, dribbled foul up the third base side towards the on-deck circle. The manual scoreboard on the Mini Monster in left field is about 3/4 of the way up that green Mini Monster. Now, up above that manual scoreboard, right in the middle of it, from the end of the manual scoreboard up to the top of the Mini Monster, there's a sign up there. 2-2. Swung on, grounded sharply to third, gloved by Ozuna. Sidearms to second for one. Opens his turn on the first. Is in time. It's a double play. 5-4-3 double play around the horn. Well, really quickly, that sign out there is dedicated to Stan Clyburn. It says 1500 managerial win. Stan Clyburn. It says the date of the win, and also has a couple of other logos on there as well. It's a really, really cool sign and a cool thing for Stan, who again won his 1500 game as a professional manager back on Tuesday again. Bottom half of the fourth inning, it's Southern Maryland 4 and Bridgeport nothing on the E-Trepid Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Home half of the fourth inning here at Regency Furniture Stadium. Blue Crabs a 4-0 lead, putting up 4 runs in the bottom of the first. They've been held scoreless since. They've got 3 hits in the ballgame. Jamar Walton will lead things off. Bottom 3, Walton, Ferrari, DeJesus. Scott Main ready to begin his 4th inning of work. He's got 2 strikeouts, 3 walks in the game. Walton with a sacrifice fly RBI, his 7th run driven in this season back in the first. Lefty on lefty. The pitch. Down and away. Babineau, the third baseman, even with the bag. The outfielders play straight away. Wind picks up slightly here at the ballpark. Lights are on. Cotton candy sky above. Here's a 1-0. Swinging a hot shot back towards the middle and through. Into right center field, a base hit. Out of the range of the now second baseman, Sean Burrows, who moved over from third to second after Rodriguez left the ball game with an apparent injury. And Jamar Walton with an RBI tonight, now a single. He's a leadoff base runner. Here's Casey Frawley. Blue Crabs with 4 hits in the game here tonight. Frawley struck out looking his first time up. Here's the set position. First offering. In tight. Blue Crabs looking to salvage this series and win their 24th game of the year. First place in the Freedom Division coming into the night. A team that had a very successful month of May. They went 18-11 as compared to 12-18 last season in the month of May. From the stretch, Maine kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss. And Frawley ahead of a changeup on the outer half. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Blue Crabs statistically, in many important offensive and pitching categories were significantly better in 2015 in May and in 2014. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Another changeup. Frawley again coming up empty. Same pitch, same spot. 1-2. Last year, the Blue Crabs had 230 batting average in the month of May, as compared to 263 here this year. 108 RBIs as compared to 98 RBIs. The slugging percentage was night and day. 402 slugging in the month of May this year as compared to 341 last year. There's a quick pickoff throw to first, and Walton walking back in safely standing. The OPS, big disparity there, 731 as compared to 644. And I don't want to bog you down with numbers here, but the ERA, 3.15, 3.35 last year. 96 runs allowed this year as compared to 135 last year. The important categories all better in May this year than it was last year. 1-2. Down low, the fastball, 2-2. Southern Maryland really took off in the month of May after starting out the season really struggling. I mean, they were winning a game, losing a game, winning a game, losing a game. It was going back and forth, back and forth. They finally had that 8-game winning streak. And overall went 18-11 in the month of May. The pitch. Swung on, bounced towards third, just foul outside the bag. 2-2 the count to Frawley, 4-0 Blue Crabs, bottom of the fourth inning. On deck is Antone DeJesus. Here's the set position, Main from the belt. Kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss. Down goes Frawley. Second time tonight that Casey has struck out. Once looking, now swinging. Third strikeout of the game for Scott Main. Here's Antone DeJesus with one out. Antone walking his first time up. Lefty on lefty matchup. DeJesus with that open stance. Main from the belt. Walton the lead at first. First offer. A change up in there for a called strike at the knees. Antone, his 9th professional season. Grew up playing multiple sports as a kid. Had a successful high school career, earning a scholarship to play baseball at the University of Kentucky. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit high in the air, right center field, shallow. Simmons, go tell. Simmons, the center fielder, calling. And he makes a one-hand catch in the gap. Back to first base goes Walton. 2 outs, back to the top of the order, and here is Fred Lewis. Each team with 4 hits. Blue Crabs a 4-0 lead. We're in the home half of the 4th inning. Game 3 of this 3-game set. The Blue Crabs will take on the Ducks on the road. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week before returning home for a 4-game set. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Next weekend against Camden. Lefty on lefty matchup here. Walton breaks for second. Here's the pitch, a called strike. Throw to second, the tag. Out at second base. A throw on a line by Morales. And Burrows caught it right at the bag, applied the tag. Walton is caught stealing for the first time this season. No runs a hit, nobody left at the end of 4 innings of play. Southern Maryland 4 and Bridgeport nothing. Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network powered by Intrepid. Top half of the 5th inning. Glad you're with us tonight on the E-Trepid Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network. E-Trepid, empowering business to communicate with clarity. And thank you to those joining us on the YouTube side tonight as well. The Crabs and the Bluefish, game 3 of this 3-game series. 4-0 Southern Maryland. They're 4 runs back in the bottom of the first. 6, 7, 8 coming to the plate. It'll be Jabduan Morales to lead things off. The catcher, switch hitter batting left. He grounded out to second his first time. Jake Hale ready to start inning number 5. First base edge, the rubber for the right-hander. Rocks, kicks, and fires. Taken low. Here's the windup and the 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2-0. Hale has allowed 4 hits. Has 1 strikeout. Not allowed any walks. Wind, the 2-0 pitch. Swung on, line to short, right at Frawley, who makes the catch to bring the cap on the back edge of the dirt. Here's James Simmons with 1 out. Simmons, right-handed hitter. Fouled out to the first baseman Ward his first time up. Bluefish, a team managed by Ricky Van Asselberg in his first season. Actually played for Stan Clyburn back in the mid-90s with the Alexandria Aces when Stan was the manager there. Stan was right in the middle of his quest at that time for 1,500 wins. 1 out, base is empty, and the pitch. Swung on, bounced to short. Frawley charging into his left. Loves it, and throws to first off 1 foot in time. He gets Simmons by 2 steps. 2 up, 2 down. Base is empty, 4-0 Blue Crabs. Here is Babineau. Ryan Singling, back in the 30s, 1 for 1, did not start the game. He's batting in the spot of Luis An Rodriguez, who left the ballgame with an apparent injury. Hale looking for the 1-2-3 inning. Here's the windup in the pitch. Taken for a called strike over the outside corner. Hale on the first base edge. Turns, kicks, and the 0-1. Swung on, bounced to third. 1 hop, collected by Ozuna at the shins. Shuffles the feet, and from the grass, throws on to first for out number 3. An easy 1-2-3 inning for Jake Hale, who's retired 4 straights. We head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. It's Southern Maryland 4 and Bridgeport nothing. You're listening to the E-Trepid Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network. Charlotte Hall Veterans Home, celebrating its 30th anniversary, is focused on caring for Maryland's veterans and their spouses in an environment focusing on individualized services to enhance their quality of life. Charlotte Hall Veterans Home provides an assisted living and skilled nursing program for long-term care for Maryland veterans and eligible spouses who are unable to take care of themselves due to their age and disability. Located at 29449 Charlotte Hall Road in Charlotte Hall, Maryland, Charlotte Hall Veterans Home provides top service standards. For more information, call 301-884-8171 or visit www.charhall.org. Fred Lewis will lead things off. Top of the order, Lewis, Ozuna, Wilson. 4-0 Southern Maryland, bottom of the 5th. Scott Main, 5th inning of work. Here's the pitch. Swing and a line drive, snagged at first base by Rodriguez, going down to his left knee. Make that grab in the baseline for out number 1. He was robbed of a hit. He walked in the first and scored a run, dropped down a sac bunt in the second. And the one out here is Rennie Ozuna, who's 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. Scott Maine struggled in the first inning, allowed 4 runs on 3 hits, but he's settled down. Here's the pitch. Taken for a called strike at the belt. In fact, he's retired 9 of the last 10 hitters that he has faced. He's got 3 strikeouts in the game. He's walked 3. Scott from Jupiter, Florida. Was set at the belt. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Now it's 0-2. Ozuna fooled on that changeup. Zach Wilson is on deck. Bases empty. 4-0 Southern Maryland. Each team with 4 hits here tonight. From the stretch, here's an 0-2. And tight. From the stretch, the kick and the pitch. Swing and a ball punched foul off to the right and out of play. Bridgeport winning both games in the doubleheader last night. 18-21 on the year, 3rd place in the Liberty Division. Here's a team that had an up-and-down May, a roller coaster ride. At one point, back in early May, they won 4 in a row. Then they went on a little bit of a losing streak, and then they won 5 in a row from May 13th to the 16th, winning a pair of doubleheaders along the way. The 1-2. Swung on, bounced right back to Maine, gloves it easily, jogged toward first, flips it underhand, and Ozuna is out number 2. Key word to the Bridgeport season, I think anyway, just looking at their schedule, their statistics, what they've done, it's inconsistency. They just haven't been able to develop any sort of consistency. They go on a winning streak and then go on a losing streak, go on a winning streak, go on a losing streak, back and forth, back and forth. You're not going to climb in the standings that way. Still a lot of time left in the season. We're in early June, but the Bluefish, who want to climb in those standings in the Liberty Division, going to need to develop more winning streaks and less losing streaks. Here's Zach Wilson, the pitch. Outside. Wilson's 1 for 2, a single and a run scored in the first. Grounded out to the shortstop. Wessinger back in the second inning. Bases empty, 2 outs, 4-0 Southern Maryland. The next offering hit in the air to shallow right. Dotel comes jogging in, settles under, and makes a one-hand grab. Blue Crabs set down in order. 1, 2, 3. And Maine has retired 11 of the last 12 batters he has faced. Nicely done by Scott, settling down in this ballgame. Heads to the top of the 6th inning, 4-0 Blue Crabs. This is the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network, powered by Intrepid. 4-0 Southern Maryland. Top half of the 6th. Glad you're with us here tonight on the E-Trepid Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network. E-Trepid empowering business to communicate with clarity. And of course, thanks to those watching on the YouTube side of things as well. The shortstop Matt Wessinger will lead things off. It'll be Matt, followed by Lucci and Burrows. Line 1-2 in the order. Jake Hale taking a deep breath behind the pitching rubber. Steps on first base edge. Brown glove in front of the face. Righty on righty, he turns, kicks, and fires. Down and away. Wessinger singling his first time up, back in the 30s, 1 for 1. Outfielders play straight away. Here's the windup and the 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2-0. Time now for a Blackstone Management out-of-town scoreboard. We'll start in Camden, in the Atlantic League as we always do. Top of the 8th inning. The Ducks lead the River Sharks 7-1, 2-0. Down the way now, 3 balls and no strikes. Long Island, the team coming into the night having won 5 straight. They're on fire, looking to win their 6th straight. Rio taking all the way, a little bit low, ball 4, and Wessinger drawing the first walk of the night for Bridgeport. Leadoff base runner on, back to the top of the order here, Jake Lucci. Bottom of the 5th in York, Pennsylvania. The Skeeters lead the Revolution 2-1. Skeeters trying to climb in the standing. They lost last night. The only other game tonight in the Atlantic League, bottom of the 4th inning in Somerset. That ball game scoreless. Lucci, left-handed hitter, quick throw to first, and Wessinger hopping back in safely standing. Lancaster winning last night. Patriots 7-3 in their last 10. That ball game scoreless. Here's some scores from around Major League Baseball. First offering, down low and outside. Lucci tonight is 1 for 2 with a single back in the first. Top of the 9th inning in Colorado. How about this score for you? 10-2. The Rockies beating up on the Marlins. Rockies 24-29 on the season. Here's a 1-0. Way outside, and now Molina calls time. He's going to go out to talk with Hale here. He's struggling to find the strike zone. Hale has thrown 6 straight balls. 2 balls, no strikes. 4-0 Blue Crabs. Top of the 6th. Wessinger the runner at first. Bottom of the 3rd inning in Atlanta. The Braves lead the Pirates 2-0. Pirates going to lead tonight at 30-24. White Sox and the Tigers doing battle in Chicago tonight. Bottom of the 3rd there. The White Sox lead the Tigers 1-0. Detroit 28-28 on the year. Here's a team that's lost 8 straight. Here's a 2-0. A little bit outside, and Hale wanted it. Nate Caldwell shook his head saying no. 3 balls and no strikes. The Tigers, I remember I said on this broadcast just a few weeks ago that they were rolling. They were about, what, 10, 12 games over 500? Here's a 3-0. Lucci takes all the way, and a called strike over the outside corner. Well, they're 28-28 coming into tonight. They have just 2 hits here tonight. David Price is throwing for them. White Sox 25-28. They lead it 1-0. Bottom of the 2nd in the Bronx. Yankees and the Angels. Yankees lead the Angels 6-0. 3-1. Swung on, line softly in the left. That's a base hit. Wessinger stops at second base. A walk, now a base hit. Here's Sean Burrows with runners at first and second. The tying run will be on deck. 5 hits in the game for the Bluefish. Yankees 30-25 on the season. What has turned out to be, as of now, a pretty weak American League East. Angels 28-27 on the season. Yankees have 7 hits in the game. 6 runs on 7 hits. That game only in the bottom of the 2nd. Elsewhere around baseball, a 10-10 start later on tonight in Arizona between the Mets and the Diamondbacks. Here's the pitch. Burrows takes low and in, a backhand pick by Molina. Burrows 0 for 2 in the game. Mets 30-26, Diamondbacks 26-28. Bartolo Colon 8-3 on the year will start for the Mets, while Chase Anderson will start for the Diamondbacks. The pitch. And there's a strike over the outside corner. 10-10 start for the Cardinals and the Dodgers tonight. Cardinals 37-18. Dodgers 31-24. It'll be Jaime Garcia 1-2 with a 2.70 ERA, throwing for St. Louis, while Clayton Kershaw 4-3 with a 3.73 ERA will throw for the Dodgers. 10-10 start there. Great series between two of the best teams in the National League. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Burrows swings and fouls it straight back over the screen and out of play nearly into the club level. 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count. 10-10 start tonight between the Rays and the Mariners in Seattle. The Rays 30-26. Mariners 24-31. Here's a swing and a ball lined foul on the left field side, slicing out of play. Won't do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Alex Colon will throw for Tampa Bay 3-2 with an ERA of over 5. He'll do battle against Felix Hernandez. Here's a swing and a bouncer to first. Ward fields, sidearms to second wide, and it skips into left field. Here comes Wessinger around third, and he will score. Bluefish on the board on the error by Darrell Ward. It's 4-1. Well, Ward side-arming that one to second base. His second error of the year. It was low to the left field side of the bag, and it rolled right into left field. A walk, a hit, and Burrows reaching on an error. Runners at first and second. Nobody out, and the batter is Wellington Dotel. Tying run at the plate. Here's the pitch. Dotel swings and pokes a foul off to the right and out of play. Wellington is 0 for 2 in the game. He was flied out. He struck out swinging in the 4th. A walk, a single, an error by Darrell Ward. A run in for Bridgeport here in the top of the 6th. From the stretch, the pitch. Dotel swings and beats it into the ground. Foul picked up by Molina right at the home plate area. And it's 0-2. Felix Hernandez, by the way, for Seattle, 8-2 with a 2.63 ERA. Very Felix Hernandez-like. Other finals earlier today throughout baseball. The Cubs defeated the Nationals in Washington, D.C. 4-2 earlier today. Cubs 29-25, the 0-2. Swung on, grounded to second. Opens to his left. He's in front of it. Fields throws to second for the force out. No throw from Frawley. Runners at the corners. Blue Crabs get the force out at second base. One out, Andres Rodriguez, the tying run coming to the plate. Rodriguez fouled out to the first baseman Ward in the first and singled in the 4th. Jason Hamill picked up the win in that ball game today for the Nationals, moving to 5-2 with a 2.76 ERA. Joe Ross, the losing pitcher in that game, Pedro Strout, picking up his second save. The pitch. Called strike at the knee. Bryce Harper with his 19th homer of the year. Wilson Ramos his 4th homer of the year for the Nationals. 7-2, the Blue Jays beat the Astros today. Astros 34-23. Drew Hutchinson goes to 5-1 on the season. Hale set. Here's the pitch. Swung on, grounded sharply to third. Ozuna going down to his left knee to field. To second for one. On the first. It's a double play. Nice turn by Jake Opitz right in the middle of it at second base, and the Blue Crabs are out of the jam. 5-4-3 all the way around the horn. A run on a hit, 1 walk, and 2 men left. To the bottom of the 6th we go. 4-1 Blue Crabs with the lead over the Bluefish on the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network, presented by Intrepid. You alright?
Are those kids bothering you much?
Kind of ignoring it. It's kind of background noise. I have to deal with it. Yeah. Nothing I can really do. Yo, shut up! No, I can't really say that.
Alright. Sound good.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Bottom half of the 6th inning, 4-1 Blue Crabs. Glad you're with us tonight on the intrepid Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network, and of course on the YouTube side of things as well. Darrell Ward will lead it off. Scott Main, 6th inning work, the pitch. Ward cuts and foul tips it into the mitt of Morales. Darrell chasing a high fastball. He was swinging for the fences that time. Darrell lining out hard to the center fielder, Simmons, back in third. He walked and scored a run the first, earning an RBI on that walk as well. That walk scored Fred Lewis. Bases were loaded at the time, and that 4-run first for the Blue Crabs, the 0-1. And the slider spins in, a called strike over the outside corner. Continuing with the Blackstone management out-of-town scoreboard today. Some more finals for you around Major League Baseball. The Brewers beat the Twins, who dropped to 32 and 23. Brewers winning 4-2 in that ball game. Matt Garza, the winner, picks up his 4th win of the year. Ryan Presley, the loss, drops to 3-2. The pitch inside with the fastball. Francisco Rodriguez picking up his 10th save. Ryan Braun and Brian Dozier both with home runs. Dozier's 11th homer of the year. Braun is 13th. Rangers beat the Royals today 4-2 in Kansas City. Royals now 30 and 23. Rangers continue to win. They're 30 and 26. They're right back in the picture in that American League West. 1-2. Swinging a fly ball along the left field line. Long run Lucci coming in to his right, sliding in foul ground, unable to make the play right in the Blue Crabs bullpen. Good effort by Jake. Ward will get another chance. It'll be another 1-ball, 2-strike pitch coming. Good effort by Jake, but he had a long run. Sliding, unable to make the catch. Gustavo Molina waits to hit next. Wandy Rodriguez, the winner today, going to 3-2, a 3.25 ERA now in the year. Giordano Ventura took the loss, he's 3-5. Sean Tollinson picked up his 7th save of the year. Salvador Perez, his 7th home run of the year for Kansas City, but not enough as they fell 4-2. Giants beat the Phillies today 7-5. Giants 32 and 25 on the year. Madison Bumgarner picking up the win. He's 7-2, a 3.38 ERA. The 1-2. Swung on, Hughes shot, grounder foul, third base side towards the on-deck circle. Giants with 12 hits today. Severino Gonzalez dropping to 2-2, taking the loss for the Phillies. Santiago Casilla with his 17th save of the year. Jeff Francoeur and Andres Blanco with home run. Andres for San Francisco, or rather I should say the Phillies. Francoeur with his 4th homer of the year. The 1-2 to Darrell Ward. Swung on, broken back grounder, back up the middle. Burrows to his right, backhand pick on the outfield grass, about 5 feet, and then he just tosses it into the shortstop Wessinger, covering the second base bag. It's an infield single for Darrell Ward. Not bad, kind of creative. Burrows is an interesting guy. He's a funny guy, too.
Try to lead me away. No, he wants his pass.
Ward with the single.
Alright, if you don't want to.
Crabs tonight with 5 hits. Here is Gustavo Molina. Ward will be pinch run for here as Craig Maddox steps into the game. Ward leaving. Not sure with what, as training staff is out looking at him right now. He's walking off on his own power. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Blue Crabs have had a number of injuries this year, and a number of small injuries that has affected the way Stan Clyburn puts together his lineup. Now, of course, with Kyle Hankard leaving for Mexico, he already is kind of caught in a conundrum trying to figure out who he's going to have in his lineup in that number 4 spot on a daily basis. Losing Ward, your number 4 hitter tonight, is not a good sign. There's a swing and a dribble or foul outside of third. So Craig Maddox, will probably take over at first, I would imagine. Yeah, he would take over at first. Because Ward is playing first base tonight. He'll bat in the number 4 spot. Greg is the pinch runner. Nobody out. Nothing in 1 is the count. To the right-handed hitting Molina, who singled in 2 runs in the first. He's 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. A final in Boston today. The Red Sox defeating the Athletics 4-2. Red Sox 26-31. Athletics 23-35. Joe Kelly picking up his 2nd win of the year. Jesse Chavez dropping to 2-6 and losing that ball game. Here's the 0-2. Swung on, bounced to 3rd. Babineau collects the hop. Throws to 2nd for 1. And sidearm turn by Burrows over to 1st is in time for the double play. 2 outs. Some of the guys starting to come off the field here for the Bluefish guys. There's only 2 outs. 5-4-3 double play all the way around the horn. And Jake Opitz will be the hitter. Opitz is 0 for 2. Uehara picked up the save in that game, that Red Sox game, by the way. That's the pitch. Opitz takes low. His 13th save of the year. The Indians beat the Orioles today 2-1. Indians now 27-28. Orioles 25-30. Danny Salazar now 6-1 on the year. 3.50 ERA. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit in the air to right center field. Shallow. Dotel jogging in. Wellington makes a one-hand catch at the brim of the cap, and that'll do it for the Blue Crabs. They are set down in order here in the 6th inning. He heads into 7th. Southern Maryland 4, and Bridgeport nothing. The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network powered by Trevor.
Guys, I'm gonna jump! Guys, I'm gonna jump!
Half of the 7th inning, 4-1 Blue Crabs. Jake Hale ready to begin inning number 7. It'll be Alonzo, Jabduan Morales, and then James Simmons. John Alonzo, the DH, 0 for 2, a pair of groundouts, including grounding into a 5-4-3 double play in the 4th. We'll finish our Blackstone Management out of town scoreboard here.
59-20.
The Rockies defeating the Marlins 10-5 today, and Rockies going to 25-29. Here's the first offering, and there's a called strike. And the final game, the Padres defeating the Reds 9-7. Padres now 29-28. Here's the pitch outside to Alonzo, and the Reds 23-31. Brandon Maurer goes to 2-0 in the year. 1.93 ERA. Jumbo Diaz taking the loss. There's a pitch inside. Matt Kemp with a solo home run, his 2nd of the year. Zach Cozart with a home run, his 7th of the year for the Reds. Yonder Alonso with a home run for the Padres. Craig Kimball is 13th save. There's a pitch outside. That's 3-1 here. John Alonso, looking to work his way on to begin this top of the 7th. That does it for our Blackstone Management out-of-town scoreboard. 3-1. Up high, ball 4. Alonso walks. Second one issued tonight by Jake Hale. And the batter will be job 1. Morales. Bullpen activity down the left field line for the Blue Crabs. This might do it here for Jake Hale because Stan Clyburn is making his way out of the third base dugout here. They have a quick meeting at the mound, or we may just have a pitching change. Stan talking to his entire infield. Hale here in the ball game. Thrown well. 6+ innings, allowed a run on 5 hits, walking 1. Walking 2 and striking out 1. Hale is finished. Stan Clyburn takes the baseball. He's in line for the win. He leads with a 4-1 lead. Fernando Nieve will come into the ball game to pitch. It is time for an orthopedic sports and physical therapy call to the bullpen. We'll step aside. Fernando Nieve is the new pitcher. The Blue Crabs up 4-1 on the E-Trepid Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network. Fernando Nieve is the new pitcher. Orthopedic sports and physical therapy called to the bullpen. Nieve, 16 games this year, 20 innings pitched, 2 runs, 11 hits, 4 walks, 22 strikeouts, 1-0 on the season with 2 saves, 2 for 2 in save attempts. And Nieve, a guy with a 0.90 ERA, opponents hitting 164 off him. Here's a big swing and a miss from Morales, the switch-hitting catcher, batting left. Runner at first, 4-1 Blue Crabs, top of the 7th. Morales is 0 for 2 in the game with a ground out and a pop out. Blue Crabs 4 runs, 5 hits, committing 1 error. Blue Crabs 1 run, 5, Bluefish rather, 1 run, 5 hits. Here's an 0-1. Swung on, popped him up, shallow left, Frawley back from short. Gives way to Jamar Walton, the left fielder. Jamar makes a one-hand catch. Back to first base goes Alonso. Now 1 out for James Simmons. Simmons is 0 for 2. Nieve, a guy who was not allowed a run in his last 13 appearances. Allowed just 1 run in his last 14 appearances. 15th professional season. He's pitched for the Astros and the Mets for a combined 4 seasons at the major league level. Simmons the batter, pitch. James takes outside. Jake Hale finished for the night, in line for the win. 6 innings pitched. A run on 5 hits. 2 walks, 1 strikeout. The runner, Alonso at first, his responsibility. Here's the set position. Now a 1-0 pitch. Cut on, foul tip in and out of the mitt of Molina. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Blue Crabs 4 runs in the bottom of the 4th. Since then, they've been held scoreless. The Bluefish with 5 hits tonight. They scored their run in the 6th inning. Crabs looking to salvage this series after the Bluefish won both games of the doubleheader yesterday. Third base edge of the rubber for Nieve. Looks over his left shoulder at the runner Alonso. Brings the hands together. Now the 1-1 pitch. Slider spins in. There's a called strike in the outside corner. There's the set position. 1 out, and the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled straight back to the screen. Bluefish, a team that did not qualify for the playoffs last year. They've been around since 1998, one of the first teams in the Atlantic League. They won their first league championship in 1999. In fact, this is a team, a franchise that has won the most games in Atlantic League history. Over 1,000 wins in their franchise history. 1-2 slider, low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes is the count. Nieve on in relief for Jake Hale. Nobody loosening down the left field line in the bullpen. Nieve, a guy who's been Mr. Reliable out of the bullpen for the Blue Crabs. A 7th inning guy. At times he's been the 8th inning guy. And as we mentioned before, he has 2 saves on the year as well. He's been the closer when Eric Hamrin has not been available. The 2-2. Swung on, poked in the air, foul, first base side, out of play. By the way, we mentioned last half inning after Darryl Ward singled back up the middle that Craig Maddox came in to pinch run for him after Darryl left with some sort of injury. Hopefully it's nothing serious, but Craig is now over there at first base, taking over for Darryl Ward. That's the only defensive change for Southern Maryland up to this point. There's the set. 2-2 pitch. Slider, low and away. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Alonso led off the inning with a walk. Jake Hale was then pulled. Morales flying out to the left after Nieve came into the ball game. Now it's Simmons. The full count pitch. Swung on, grounded to second. Easy play, Opitz. Shovels to second for 1. Crowley's turn on the first was in time, a double play. 4-6-3 double play. That does it for the Bluefish here in the top of the 7th. Stretch time here at Regency Furniture Stadium, bottom of the 7th inning. Blue Crabs with a 4-1 lead over the Bluefish. You're listening to the intrepid Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network. So hungry. I'm going to wall after this. Bottom half of the 7th inning here at Regency Furniture Stadium. Jamar Walton will lead things off. Southern Maryland 4, Bridgeport 1. Each team with 5 hits in the game. The Crabs 4 runs in the first. And Bridgeport with 1 run in the 6th. That's where we stand. Jamar Walton will lead things off. 7-8-9 Walton for Ali DeJesus. Scott Main continues to work. The pen stirring down the right field line for Bridgeport. The pitch. Walton takes inside, spinning out of the way. Fastball that time, tailing off the corner. Jamar outside the left-handed batter's box. Trying to regather himself as the fans begin to do the wave, starting down the left field line, coming back around this way. Oh, here we go. Caught it. There we go. He's going down the first base side. Here's the pitch. Swing and a soft liner in the left field, and that's a base hit. Jamar Walton with a sacrifice fly for an RBI in the first, singled in the fourth. He's been on base here now twice. He's 2 for 2. Jamar continuing to swing a pretty hot bat. He had a good series against Sugarland. He went 6 for 15 against the Skeeter. He's got 2 hits here tonight. Here's Casey Frawley, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Blue Crabs looking to salvage the series. Up 4-1 here in Game 3 of this 3-game set. The pitch. Swung on, grounded to third, gloved in the grass by Babineau. Throws to second low, picked out by Burrow. Fakes the throw to first base, holds on to the baseball for the force out. Walton is contending that Burrows didn't keep his foot on the bag. Sean had to make a backhand pick as that throw was wide to the left side of the bag from Babineau's standpoint over there at third. Raleigh on base with the fielder's choice. Here's Anton DeJesus. Anton tonight with a walk back in the second, and he flew out to center in the fourth. Now remember, there will be fireworks at the completion of this 7th inning. Fireworks show that goes on every Friday night and Saturday night here at the ballpark. Here's the pitch. Left-hand hitting DeJesus takes low. Babineau even with the bag at third. Wessinger the shortstop. Bench toward second slightly. Big hole on the right side. With Rodriguez holding the runner Frawley on at first. 1-0 pitch, taken for a called strike over the outside corner. Burrows, I'll tell you, at second base, after every single throw back to the pitcher, he puts on some sort of show. That time, he faked like there was a ground ball coming to him, and then he faked the fielding of the ground ball, and then he faked the toss to second. There's a 1-1. Swung on, pulled on the ground, just foul outside of first. Ooh. Very close. Just outside the chalk. And DeJesus will walk back to the home plate area. Every time now, I want to see what Burrows is going to do. I'm curious. After every throw back to the pitcher. I mean, after every pitch, he's doing something. Oh, he's a character. He's funny. He has fun playing this game. There's no doubt about it. Is exactly what you should be doing, having fun playing baseball. I think some guys along the way at all levels forget that. And ball 2 strikes is the count with 1 out. The pitch on the way. Low and outside, it skips right through the legs of Morales to the backstop. Raleigh will take second on the pass ball. Raleigh in scoring position. Blue Crabs up 4-1, looking for more. 2-2 is the count to Anton DeJesus. Scott Main tonight. 6 1/3 innings, 4 runs, 6 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. He's thrown 91 pitches. Now a 2-2. Low and outside, full count. Bullpen activity down the right field line for Bridgeport. Could be the end of the line very soon from Scott Main. One out. The full count pitch. Swung on, bounced on the ground to second. To his left goes Burrows. Gets in front of it, handles it, and throws on to first. Up the third goes Frawley. 4-3 on the putout, and here is Fred Lewis with a runner 90 feet away. Fred, a left-handed hitter, walked and scored a run in the first, dropped down to sac bunt in the second, and he lined out to the first baseman, Rodriguez, in his last at-bat back in the fifth. Time called, and here comes Ricky Van Asselberg. This might do it here for Scott Main, and it will. We'll have a call to the bullpen. Bridgeport going to their bullpen for tonight. 2 outs, a runner at third, and Casey Frawley. Blue Crabs up 4-1 here in the bottom of the 7th on the Blue Crabs Baseball Network, presented by E-Trepid. Fred Lewis will be the hitter. Casey Frawley, the runner at third, with 2 outs. Blue Crabs up 4-1. Tim Gustafson is the new pitcher. The 30-year-old will throw to Fred Lewis, who walked and scored a run in the first, dropped down to sac bunt in the second, and lined out to the first baseman Rodriguez in the fifth. Righty on lefty matchup. Gustafson 0-3 with a 7.24 ERA. This is 18th appearance. 13 2/3 innings. He's allowed 11 runs on 18 hits. Opponents are hitting .321 off him. The pitch. Fred takes a called strike on the outer edge. Walton started the inning with a single. Frawley grounded into fielder's choice. The Jesus grounded out. Here's the next offering low. Frawley on that ground out, moving up to third. Now Fred Lewis will face a 1-ball-and-1-strike offering coming from the pitching coach, Tim Gustafson. Former Braves 9th round pick in 06. 1-1. Swinging a foul off to the left and out of play. Tim drafted by the Braves from Georgia Institute of Technology, otherwise known as Georgia Tech, the Yellow Jack. Set. On a 1-2. Outside 2-2. It'll be interesting to see how both of these managers, who are now into their bullpens, deal with the fireworks after the bottom half of the 7th inning. Will they go with a new pitcher, or will they stick with the guys they have? Here's the next offering low. Count is run full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Fred Lewis. Scott Main in line for the loss. He went 6 2/3, allowing 4 runs on 6 hits, all 4 runs earned. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. The runner Frawley at third base, his responsibility. Payoff. Swinging a foul out of play left side. Gustafson, the Georgia Tech product. Try to get Lewis out here. Rennie Ozuna waits to hit next. Fireworks coming up after the bottom of the 7th. We will step aside for that. 3-2. Swing and a ball served foul out of play on the third base side. pitch. Swung on, hit in the air, foul up the left field side, and peeling out of play. The bat here by Fred Lewis, guy who came up with the Giants in 2006, wearing his lime green undershirt tonight, and his lime green batting glove. Straightaway stance on the left side. The payoff. Swinging a foul, straight back over the screen, out of play. It's a nice at bat here by Fred Lewis. Great crowd on hand tonight at Regency Furniture Stadium. He grabs up 4-1. Southern Maryland 6 hits in the game. Fans excited for the fireworks coming up, I imagine. 3-2. Up high, good at bat, ball 4. Fred Lewis walking for the second time tonight. Runners at the corners. That'll send Rennie Ozuna to the plate. You give this to Gustafsson, he throws hard. But the issue here is he has to throw strikes. Runners at the corners, Blue Crabs up 4-1, looking for more. Ozuna tonight 1 for 3 with an RBI, making a single and run score back in the first. Outfielders play straight away. No one to speak of here at the ballpark. The pitch. Down low. Gustafsson on the first base edge with a high set, 1-0. Swung on, popped him up on the infield, right around the mound. Morales, the catcher, called off by Rodriguez, the first baseman. And from the mound, Andres makes the one-hand catch for out number 3. Blue Crabs leave runners at first and third. And we'll have fireworks. Here we are. At the end of 7 innings, we'll step aside. The fireworks show going on here at the ballpark. Back with you in about 5 to 7 minutes. Blue Crabs up 4-1 on the E-Trepid Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network.
I love fireworks nights.
I won.
Welcome back to Regency Furniture Stadium. The fireworks show is completed. All the dust and the smoke literally has cleared. And Fernando Nieve is ready to begin his second inning of work. 4-1, Blue Crabs have the lead. Blue Crabs 4 runs on 6 hits, committing 1 error here tonight, while the Bluefish with one run on 5 hits. Nieve finishes up his warm-up tosses. Blue Crabs 4 runs in the bottom of the first. They've been held scoreless though since, while the Bluefish with their run coming in the top of the 6th inning. So the 8th inning, here it is. Babineau, Wessinger, and Lucci do up. Babineau, the number 8 hitter, Ryan, coming on as a replacement for Luisan Rodriguez earlier in the game. He had his first at bat and singled in the 3rd, and then he grounded out to the 3rd baseman, Ozuna, back in the 5th. Righty on righty matchup, 2nd inning of work for Fernando Nieve. One of the big stories of this ball game was right-handed pitcher Jake Hale. 6 innings of work tonight in line for the win. The first offering is in for a called strike. A run on 5 hits allowed by Hale tonight. 2 walks, 1 strikeout. Nieve comes set at the belt. Here's an 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. And Babineau going down to his right knee, Adrian Beltre style that time, and coming up empty. 0-2 is the count. The smoke took a while to clear away last night, but it cleared fairly quickly here tonight. The 0-2. Blowing outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The remnants of the smoke right around the video board in right center field. That's about it. Sky is clear, lights are on. Beautiful night here at Regency Furniture Stadium. Great crowd on hand as well. Here's the set. The kick and the 1-2. Swung on, grounded to second. Charging Opitz, gobbles it up. Sidearms to first. Babineau is out number 1. Here's Matt Wessinger. Matt's been on base twice. Singled in the 3rd and walked back in the 6th. Crabs looking to salvage this series, while the Bluefish look for the sweep. The pitch. Inside. This is a safe situation if the score stays the way it is. Eric Hamrin should be pitching in the 9th. Here's a swing and a mile-high pop-up. Crawley can't find it. Just to the left of second, Opitz comes over from second and makes a 2-hand catch. Yeah, Casey just couldn't see it. It's tough to see in this type of sky tonight. It's a very dark blue type sky tonight, and those nights cause trouble for fielders when the ball is hit so high in the air. And that was the case that time. Frawley couldn't find it. Opitz made the catch. Back to the top of the order. The base is empty, 2 outs, 4-1 Blue Crabs, top of the 8th. Here is Jake Lucci. Jake 2 for 3 tonight with a pair of singles. Here's the pitch. Taken for a called strike at the knees. Set in the 0-1. Taken for a called strike. Nieve once again throwing a lot of strikes. Guy who was allowed just 1 run his last 14 appearances. He has been so reliable in what has been a reliable bullpen the last month and a couple of weeks. The 0-2 rather, outside. Yeah, that bullpen for the Blue Crabs in the month of May was so successful. They went 6-1 with 9 saves and a 1.82 ERA in 74 to 3rd innings. The 1-2 pitch, taken low, now 2 balls and 2 strikes. It was a small sample size in April. They went 1-3 with an ERA of 5.29, but anyway you look at it, the bullpen was not pitching well. 13 walks and 11 runs allowed in the month of April. 22 walks, 25 runs allowed in May. ERA really low. The next offering, a swing and a miss. Down goes Lucci. And the first strikeout of the ball game for Fernando Nieve, who retires all 5 hitters that he faces. out of the bullpen tonight. We get to the bottom of the 8th inning, 4-1 Southern Maryland. You're listening to the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network presented by E-Trade. Home half of the 8th inning, Blue Crabs with a 4-1 lead. 3-4-5 coming to the plate, Zach Wilson, and he'll be followed by Craig Maddox, Gustavo Molina. Wilson 1 for 3 tonight with a single and a run scored back in the first. Blue Crabs 4 runs in that first inning, lead at 4-1. Bagged out 6 hits here tonight. Righty on righty matchup. Gustafson is second inning of work. The pitch. Up high. Tim was primarily a setup man, and he attended Georgia Tech. He was then drafted by the Braves in 06. In the 9th round, here's a swing and a pop foul off first. Rodriguez crossing into foul ground along with Morales, the catcher. There's a twist out of play. And lands about 4 rows deep into the seats. Tim Gustafson, Gustafson, no relation to former University of Texas Longhorns coach Cliff Gustafson. 1-1, swung on, fouled back to the screen. Babineau hugs the line at third, now backs up behind the bag. Burrows pinched towards the second base bag. 1-2, swing and a miss. On goes Wilson. First strikeout for Gustafson here tonight. And here is Craig Maddox. Maddox hitting at .232 on the season. It's 7 RBIs. Kamaz the pinch runner for Darrell Ward back in the 6th pitch. A called strike. Darrell apparently leaving with some sort of injury. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Blue Crabs have had their fair share of injuries this year, including the guy at the plate and Craig Maddox. The pitch. Swung on, tapped foul at the plate. Yeah, Maddox missed 7 games with a bruised foot in May. Finally returned to the lineup May 21st. Really hasn't been able to get back into any sort of groove of the plate since he has returned. Got the start in Game 2 yesterday, going 0 for 3. The 0-2. Swing and a ball served foul out of play on the third base side. Outfielders play straight away. The 0-2 pitch. Up high. Eric Hamrin appears to be loosening down the left field line for the Blue Crabs. It will be a save situation. Come to the top of the ninth. Burrows, Dotel, Rodriguez, 2, 3, 4 due up in the Bridgeport order. The 0-2. Swung on, bounced slowly right side. Gustafsson off the mound. He scoops it up and steps on the bag himself for the one unassisted putout. Bases empty, 2 outs, 4-1 Blue Crabs, bottom 8. Here's Gustavo Molina. Molina with a 2-run single in the first. He's 1 for 3. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Molina came into the ball game tonight tied for second in the league in homers with 8. Fifth in RBIs with 23. Second in slugging percentage at .581. Pitch. Swung on, looped out to left. Lucci right there now takes a couple of steps to his left and makes the catch for out number 3. Last chance coming up for the Bluefish. Top of the 9th inning. Southern Maryland up 4-1 on the intrepid Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network. Time for another orthopedic sports and physical therapy call to the bullpen. Eric Hamrin is on in relief looking for the save. Hamrin 3-0 in the season with a 2.84 earned run average. 14 games, 8 saves, 12 2/3 innings, 4 runs, 13 hits, 16 strikeouts as compared to 4 walks. Opponents rating .255 off the right hand. He will face 2, 3, 4 in the order. Burrows, Dotel, Rodriguez. Combination of Burrows and Dotel, both veterans. Number 2 and number 3 hitter respectively tonight. 0 for 6, while the 2, 3, 4 hitters in the Bridgeport order tonight, just 1 for 9. Burrows, left-handed hitter. Righty Hamrin, set to go, towing the middle of the rubber. 4-1 Blue Crabs, top of the 9th. 4 runs on 6 hits for Southern Maryland, committing an error. Here's the pitch. And there's a called strike. The Bluefish a run on 5 hits. Blue Crabs 4 runs in the first. Bridgeport with their run in the 6th. Hamrin looking for his 9th save. Pitch. Swung on, tapped foul at the plate. And it's 0-2. Blue Crabs looking to salvage this series after losing both games in the doubleheader yesterday. pitch on the way. Swung on, lined in left center field, slicing into the gap. DeJesus is there. Anthem moving to his right, makes a one-hand catch. Burrows 0 for 4. Here's Wellington Dotel. Blue Crabs will hit the road, leaving tonight about an hour or so after the game. They will take on Long Island in a 4-game set. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 7th through the 10th this week. And then they'll return home the 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th of June for a 4-game set against Camden. There's a swing and a foul out of play to the right. Dotel, right-handed hitter, he's 0 for 3. The pitch, taken inside. These two teams will meet again in Bridgeport on June 29th for a 4-game set. Meanwhile, tomorrow, the Blue Crabs will send John Lester to the hill. Now Wellington Dotel with some words here with Gustavo Molina and Nate Caldwell, the home plate umpire, telling both guys, take it easy here. Relax. Everybody take a deep breath. Dotel back in there on the right side of the open stance. 1-1. Low and away. Molina's a veteran guy, a veteran catcher, is going to stick up for his pitchers. And he is not afraid to talk some smack, if you will, right back at some hitters. If need be, of course. Outside target, pitch. Swung on, bounced high on the ground to short. Frawley moving to his right, collects the hop at the chest, throws to first, and it's in time. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the ninth. Andres Rodriguez, the last hope for this Bridgeport team, who is in danger of dropping to 18 and 22 on the year, currently 3rd place in the Liberty division. 2 outs, bases empty, 4-1 Blue Crabs, top 9. Cameron comes set, here's the pitch. Taken for a called strike right at the knees on the outside. Cameron looking for his 9th save. Blue Crabs looking for their 24th win of the year. First place, 5.5 games up on 2nd place Sugar Land of the Freedom Division. Here's a wave and a miss, and it's 0-2. Rodriguez 1 for 3, singled back in the 4th. Cameron comes set. The 0-2. Check swing on the appeal. No swing. Kevin Sweeney, the first base umpire, with the call. That slider down and away, and Rodriguez was able to check. The crowd tonight of 5,920. Looking for the strikeout and the final out of this ball game. A high set, the 1-2. Swung on, popped him up. Shallow right center field, opens behind his second base position. Comes drifting in 2 steps and makes a 2-hand catch for the 3rd out of the ball game. And the Blue Crabs salvage the series, taking Game 3 of this 3-game set by the final of 4-1, defeating the Bridgeport Bluefish here tonight. Back with the wrap-up show after this on the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Baseball Network, powered by Intrepid.